All right, so now that we learned a little bit about HTML, let's play around with CodePen. You guys should have already set up a new account using your school email. Once you do, you kind of come to this window. Let's go ahead and click on pen, and we can go ahead and create a new pen. Okay, now the pen, we can change our view like what I've mentioned before. We can have the windows where we're typing stuff on the top, on the right, on the left. That's a preference thing. Okay, and then if we want to start saving things, we got to change the name of our pen. So we can go ahead and give it a name. And then we can go ahead and click save. As we are entering code, it will let us know when we have changes. So I already have a pen started. I'm going to go ahead and use that one, so I'm not creating another one. So I'm going to go into my dashboard and click on a pen that I already created. This is useful because as you guys are saving your pens, we can go into our pens, work on it, save it, and then be able to come back later. Okay, so like what we were talking about before, HTML is the main code that we have, and since we're not learning CSS or JavaScript right now, let's go ahead and minimize these windows because we don't need them in our way. Okay, so now here is where we want to type our HTML code. Now I mentioned that HTML is our main element that everything is going to be in, and this already kind of has it. So what we need to start with is we need to start with the next step, which is our body, what we want to see. Because if I just start typing text, here is a text about kittens. Here is now some title information. This is made by me. Okay. If you create a website like this, besides for there being absolutely no structure, there are ways that I could make this look pretty, and I did not use any HTML tags. The issue with this is we are not structuring our website. Browsers won't be able to understand it. Special screen readers for people who are blind, visually blind, have a hard time reading, being able to see a website, and they want it read to them. This will not do that. Web crawlers won't be able to find certain text in your website because it can't decide what the structure is. Okay, so we have to put a structure. So we can start using this, and since this is kind of an IDE, it will help me. So if I start typing body, well, I don't see anything. But if I start typing the tag using a left angle bracket, there it is. Look, it's kind of completing it for me. Okay, so I can type body, okay, and it will help make sure that I'm typing an element that exists. Okay, so I could give it a little bit of space, and I could start typing the end of it. And since it already knows that I opened up a body, I need now a closing tag for the body element. I could go ahead and hit tab if I wanted, just to jump to finish it for me. So inside here, like what we said, this is a container. Inside of here is where we want to put all of our code. So if I want to create a heading, the main heading of my page, I'm going to go ahead and write that. This is the main heading for my page. Okay, and then I want to close it. Now it's easiest to read if you always have all your tags on the left hand side, so you can easily see them. That way you can make sure that you're closing your tags. Otherwise, sometimes people make mistakes of not closing their tags, so you have a paragraph inside of your heading or something to that effect. So let's go ahead and create, say, one for a paragraph. This is a bunch of text for my first paragraph. Okay, I want to go ahead and close it. Okay, now with syntax, HTML doesn't recognize if there's a bunch of spaces. This still is okay code, having a bunch of spaces. I could still do this, okay? However, even though I might do that, it does make it easier for us to read when we see the tags close to the closing tag close to the element that we want it to close. Okay. Now, there are many tags that I could use, and I can go ahead and create. I'm only giving you guys a few at a time. Okay. So this is the second paragraph. All right. Now, even though we've seen before, now I can see that it's in bold. I'm going to go ahead and save this. I can see that it's in bold, but that is not why we use the H1. It's not to make this a little bit bigger and in bold. Okay? I don't need to say, hey, I want a subheading right here for the second paragraph. I don't need to say, this is a subheading for the second paragraph. I don't need to put this as an element just to make it smaller or to size it a specific way. That is not what HTML is for. HTML is for structuring. When we get to CSS, we will use that to specifically size our titles and color our text and give it specific fonts and the layout and the look. HTML is only for structuring and saying, hey, this is a paragraph, this is a title. Okay? That's a little bit different from how they did it in the old days when they were marking up, because they did it all at once. We are using two separate languages. One for structure, that's HTML, and CSS, when we get into it, is used for the look. Okay? So I encourage you guys to kind of play around with the HTML window, type a couple stuff. You guys will be using this if you need to refer back to this to do your first assignment. All right, good luck and have fun.